Welcome into Factfinder Investigates. I'm Dylan Doming. This week, many streets and neighborhoods all across Kansas found themselves underwater. There are still many that are dealing with the aftermath of this week's rain. People across south central Kansas have lost everything. Cale Chapman spoke with people who are now working to pull their lives back together after those storms.
We got about 6 inches of rain in about 6 hours.
Tuesday's torrential rain flooded south central Kansas.
We already had 4 inches of rain the week before, so between those two, it was more than the river could handle.
Many lost everything, like Jeff Heck.
They have to throw away everything in your house. They've got to cut up the walls 4 feet. They've got to dry everything out. They put dryers inside of your house. Then they got to put everything back and rebuild your house. You got to go out and buy new furniture and restock it.
Heck lives near Dry Creek. His whole neighborhood flooded during the storms, but he says it's not the first time.
You get used to it. Prepare the best you can, leave, come back, pick things up, put it back together again, and move on.
Some areas are still dealing with several feet of standing water.
Wow, just like, what the heck? What in the world?
Here outside of Augusta is Dyke Road, which right now is totally flooded over and impassable.
The Whitewater River right next door overflowed into the area.
Well, I was wondering if we ought to grab fishing poles or what.
Forcing detours and drawing spectators shocked by the flooding.
Wow.
The road even buckling under the water.
I'd come through here for the last 18 years bringing my children and grandkids to school this way, but I guess if school was going on, we probably would have needed a boat.
It's deep. It's really deep. Usually these trees are pretty tall and you can barely see any of them. Over 10 foot deep, especially because like it goes pretty deep over there.
In Butler County, Cale Chapman, 12 News.
And those floodwaters can often be high enough to cause some serious damage to cars. It's something that you want to be aware of when it comes to your own vehicle, but also if you're on the hunt to purchase a used one. After recent flooding, many cars can be deemed a total loss. So we spoke with an auto body shop to help you avoid making costly mistakes.
Your vehicle can operate and function properly, and you can still have moisture in places where it shouldn't be that can cause issues down the line. So one of the ways that you could look to see if there's moisture in your car is right here. You can take this sill cover off. It's kind of in the door jamb area of your vehicle, and then you're able to pull this carpet up on the inside here, and you can feel, a lot of times you'll be able to feel if there's moisture under here, but you could also see signs of it too on some of the bare metal surfaces.
The National Highway Traffic Administration says it is legal to sell defective cars to people as long as it is noted, so a rebuilt title could be an indicator of a flood damaged vehicle. And if you are hiring someone to fix flood damage to your home or your car, you don't want to get scammed. The Better Business Bureau says post-storm scammers move from city to city and they leave jobs unfinished after accepting payment. So if you opened your cars this week and found it underwater, like this vehicle, or if your basement's flooded, here are a few reminders. Don't take the pressure bait. Never pay for a job on the spot. The BBB recommends getting estimates on a job from there and from other different businesses.
The scams that are related to flooding really do mirror the scams that are related to earthquakes and tornadoes, and things to look for include like high pressure sales tactics.
The Better Business Bureau does get reports of flooding related scams, but they're not as common as the ones that follow tornadoes. Well, a Chicago-based law office now representing a dozen families, including some from Kansas, whose loved ones were killed in the January 29th mid-air collision. Robert Clifford with Clifford Law Offices says almost every family impacted has met with legal counsel and are now seeking justice. The first lawsuits against the Army and the FAA in connection to that crash are expected to be filed this summer. But for now, a federal law known as the Federal Tort Claims Act is holding up those cases until a 6-month investigation period expires. Clifford says he does anticipate all the lawsuits to be consolidated into one and filed when those 6 months are up. He expects those cases to be resolved by settlement or by trial, but says for the families, it could be a long fight.
They're consolidated because how and why the crash occurred is common to all families. But what's different are their individualized damages. But that will occur somewhere down the line, but it doesn't occur overnight. It oftentimes, takes time to do that.
Clifford believes it could take 2 to 3 years for a settlement to be reached. Next week, a Senate subcommittee led by Senator Jerry Moran is scheduled to hear from the FAA and the Army for the second time since the crash to see what other flight safety measures need to be in place. That hearing will be on June 11th.
Someone actually walked in expecting an appointment, and then that's when it all kind of came to fruition a little bit, and I realized, oh, we're now being used.
Well, if you're looking at getting a new tattoo, you may want to double check if the artist you're talking to is real or not. One tattoo shop came to Factfinder after a customer believed they had set up an appointment with them, only to quickly find out she was the victim of a scam. At Squid Ink Tattoo Studio in Goddard, Ellie Taylor is the owner and only tattoo artist, taking pride in the art that she creates.
There it is.
But a new scam makes it appear as if Ellie works with many more artists inside her small shop.
It really is like this perfect cocktail for a scammer to take advantage of.
Garrett Lyon manages the appointments at the shop. He says he noticed something was off several weeks ago when they received emails from potential customers asking if a specific artist worked there. At first, Garrett thought it was a simple misunderstanding.
I assumed that the person who sent this contact form in reached out to us when he maybe was looking for a Brandon that worked in a Squid Ink LLC tattoo shop in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
It wasn't until this past weekend when that misunderstanding became clear. A customer walked in saying she had an appointment with a tattoo artist that both Garrett and Ellie did not know. The customer said after she paid a $150 deposit, she was given the Squid Ink's address to go to for her tattoo. Only that appointment did not exist, and Garrett and Ellie did not have her money.
You don't have an appointment here. I'm sorry, it looks like this was a scam, and there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do about it.
But incidents like this aren't isolated. Factfinder found other examples from around the country. They all claim scammers are posing as tattoo artists on social media and will set up fake appointments and make you pay for a tattoo that you will not actually get.
You've done it. You've scammed this person out of so much money. Why continue the charade after that? Why send them the shop name or a shop address?
And while it is common to pay a deposit before getting a tattoo, it's also best to do more research on who is actually doing the job before paying. Ask specific questions to the artist, like who trained them and what is their style. And if that tattoo artist works for a shop, call the shop to verify that they work there. For Garrett and Ellie, they still don't know why their shop specifically was used in this scam or how to stop it from happening. But they want this to serve as a warning so their customers don't lose more of their money.
I mean, $150, especially right now, I mean, that can make or break somebody for a few weeks.
You never know who's out there controlling your reputation. Like, anyone can really do it, and that's a shame.
And the tattoo shop did try calling the person who messaged that customer and took her money, but by the time they called, the number was already disconnected. Well, so to come, lawmakers addressing claims of grade tampering as an investigation continues into students' records being changed at Wichita's Southeast High School.